Hi, I'm the App Man, and here is the app of the week.
Okay, the app for the week this week is called Penxy, Pnxy. That's this one here. Penxy will allow you to present content much like a PowerPoint, but the difference is with Penxy Presenter, what'll happen is as you're presenting your PowerPoint, it will also broadcast it live over the internet. So it allows you to stream the content as well. The advantage of this is any student that couldn't be in class for whatever reason, maybe they were homesick or they were injured or deployed if they're in the military or whatever the case may be, if they couldn't be in class for whatever reason, but they can get online, then they'd be able to go to whatever URL this would come up with and view the content live as you're doing it. Now, the other difference is it will also record audio while you're doing this. So it's basically a live presenter. So if you look at the screen here, this shows you the opening screen. And as you can see here in the middle, where I've got a PowerPoint presentation already ready. So I've got the content, you can do the events. Over here you've got add content, and here's a guide. So we'll look at the guide real quick. So this tells you basically how this thing works. And this guide is in itself, I'm going to capture that screen, is a presentation in itself. So if we swipe to continue, it moves to the next presentation, the next part of the PowerPoint. And then if there's any transactions or transitions, like this was a transition, it'll bring those in as well. So each time you slide your finger across like this, then it'll bring up the next either animation or the next slide. Now what you don't see is the screen that I'm seeing, which again I will capture those images to show you. Unfortunately, because it's the way this is set up, it acts as if the screen is an extra projector, so everything you're seeing is what the presentation would be seeing. So basically what you're seeing is what your students or whoever is watching this presentation online would see. And it is recording the mic as well. So we'll go on through all this. Well, if you look at here, we'll go back. If you look here, there's your presentation, name of the event. So if you create an event, then you name the event, whatever name you're going to give it, presentation 1, and then press content as is shown here in the images. Then when you go to broadcast, you'll see what looks like on this record on air and go. So if you want it to record it, you slide this over so that it shows on, and then a little green button will light up here. And then on air, this is showing that's on air. Now the sharing control, you can get a link, a short link, if you want to broadcast and share the thing. change an event's content. If you want to change the event, you can do that, or you can go back to the main screen. So this is your menu button system. And then to view broadcasting, you just enter the event's short link, which would be Penxy.com, and the name of the event. Or you can just log into Penxy.com and press the current broadcasting to view your broadcasting in projector mode. Now you can also have questions and or slide notes. So just like in PowerPoint, when you're doing PowerPoint, you can put notes at the bottom that only the presenter would see. They wouldn't be shown on the screen. Same thing with Penxy, you can also do that so that, again, you don't see it. I'll make another snapshot of this, but it'll show the slide notes up above so that you can do that. So what happens is if you have specific questions you want to ask, you can stick those questions up in your notes so that when it comes to that slide, you can remember to ask that question if that's what you want. As well as you can get questions from your live audience. So again, somebody viewing this from the other side, from the internet, would be able to ask questions. And then you can get polls, so you can ask a poll, and again, that's up in the top, which you're not seeing right now, but I'll show it to you in a little bit. So you can ask, you can poll the audience. And watchers will be able to choose from one of 4 options. So again, ask a question, give them 4 possible answers, and they can choose the best one. And then you'll see what the results are. Okay, and that's basically how this works. Okay, so if you look at this image here, this is a still image that I captured from the app. And this is what you would see as the instructor or the presenter. So what you see in the middle of the big screen is to find out how to, that's the slide that you're on, that it's previewing to everybody else. And then if you look just above it, the white box that says no note, slide notes, that would be where your notes are if you have any notes on that slide. And if you look just above it, it says slide notes, so it's showing you those are the slide notes. Now if you moved it into, clicked on the questions, then that area where the notes are would turn to any questions that you have. So if you have any questions there, that's where it'd be. Over on the top left, where you see the 3 little bars, and then there's a little, looks like a little head with a 0 beside it. The 3 little bars are for the poll questions, and then the head shows you any students that are viewing this. And then you can edit your notes here on the top right, just above the white box. And then over on the far right, that's your control panel. So the arrow pointing to the left, that would allow you to move backward through the slides. The other one, which is an arrow coming out of a box, that is to share, and for this aspect, that is to share the URL. So if you click on that, it would actually show up what the URL is for the site. The number in the blue, those 6 zeros, that's your timer. That shows how long this presentation has been going on. Just below that, it shows you the actual time, and then it shows you how many slides you have and what slide you're on. So it's slide 1 of 9. And then below that, it'll show you the next slide coming up. And just below that shows you your microphone, and as you are talking and the volume goes up, this blue that you barely see will move further up depending on the volume level. Just below that's your record button, so you can turn it on and off. Right now it's off. And then your on air, which is on and off. And then if you press go, that starts the event and gets it going, and it'll come up with the timer, which you'll see in one of the other slides here. So in this image, you'll see the actual microphone level up higher as I was talking. And on this image here, now you see the slide notes at the top to show you an example of what the notes look like. And this one shows it as it's on air, so you can see the timer started. Now we're on 2 seconds. And this is an example of what the poll looks like when you pull up the polls. 0% of the students have voted because there's nobody on there. And then it shows you what they chose and what the percentage would be if there was any. And you can start the poll whenever you want. So that's the basics of the Penxy app. And again, there's a lot more that it'll do as far as how it looks and how well it works. The biggest thing about the Penxy app is that you need a good high-speed internet connection to make sure that the audio and everything is transferring correctly up to the server to the other end, so that the students aren't getting real choppy audio or it's having a real long delay in what's being done. Again, the delay is not as bad a problem provided they get all the content. So that's the Penxy app. And in the webinar this week on March 1st, I'll be talking more about this one.